Okay, speak. Does this sound good? Rajeev, speak, please.
Okay. I think so. Also, I think your dog looks like a. Do you have a cat as well, Pablo?
Nope.
Your dog's tail just keeps like sticking up in the air like a cat's does, and it makes me
Yep.
think this is a cat when she's behind you, and I can see your tail.
Does this sound good? Rajeev, speak.
Yeah, perfectly cover her in the frame.
I think so. Also, I think your dog looks like. Do you have a cat as well, Pablo?
Casual viewer.
Okay, this sounds good.
Polly is deep lore in our podcast.
I'm just gonna paste this into channels, and we're gonna get ready. Duncan's already in the chat. What a pro! Oh my God, he's a champion.
Unbeatable.
Oh, Duncan, we love you. I'm gonna put this on like Pam's server.
Wait, let's see if I can see our comments section. We're number 3 if we look up Enter the Zeitgeist on YouTube.
Yes, I love it. Sorry. I'm just gonna post.
Number 14.
Post some
Burger
links.
King foot lettuce.
Post some links. General. I just derailed our entire podcast. I clicked on the wrong button.
Oh no!
We're the worst. Okay, so now Pablo is the full stream. Grid view. Turn on my camera. Behind the scenes footage, guys. I meant to post in the general channel.
Oh yeah, I was just AFKing in Minecraft and then studying for my partial differentials exam.
Okay, cool. So we are here. Starting the podcast episode now. Welcome to Enter the Zeitgeist, episode 14. This is my friend Rajeev. He actually lives in the same building as me. And this is Pablo. Enter the Zeitgeist is a podcast about 2 nerds just living their 20s in the COVID life. It's almost over. We're trying to explore lots of topics that might be present in current media, current culture, and just the struggles of being troubled teens that are 10 years older than they should be. So hopefully that's interesting. We get into some antics on this show. Welcome. Hopefully we're entertaining. First off, I want to start off by, as of last episode, we have our first ever donation. This doesn't mean you guys have to donate to us because I don't think this show's worth money yet. But
donation.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm not sure if you want me to say your last name, but I remember you, and maybe we should have you on sometime. Because I'm sure you've gotten into some wild antics. But thank you very much for your donation. And the show must go on. So, welcome to the podcast universe, Rajeev. As we're adding more guests. As we're adding more guests, our universe is expanding. We've got several recurring guests. Maybe you will be one of them. I would like to have at some point some sort of like returning guests party. Maybe we could play like Jackbox or something. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And Pablo mentioned this before you got on, but we're going to start off with an oddball question. With all these remote work, how do you feel about, what's your opinion on pants during interviews?
During remote work, if you're
here's your question, Rajeev. Are you wearing pants right now?
No, we're wearing shorts.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's. I would clarify that as pants. I'm also wearing shorts.
Okay.
But
I think it's important to always be wearing some form of pants, not professional, but some sort of pants. If you accidentally get up and you're not wearing pants, that's an issue. If you're
that's why you gotta turn your camera off. You like shimmy to turn the video off for a second so you can stand up. Like
yeah, you don't wanna make that mistake.
Yes.
I live for the thrill. You know, you gotta assert yourself in your spaces. They don't know that you're not wearing pants, but you know that you're not wearing pants.
that is a possibility, but it's a dangerous way to live.
That's true. Have you seen that Ass Pennies skit? Where a person's like, "Where do you get all your confidence?" "Oh, I take all of the pennies and I put them in my ass. And then if anybody is ever handling currency, I know that they touch the pennies that have been in my asshole."
I've seen that.
So, yeah.
Circling back, I realized that I didn't do a very good intro on Rajeev here. So I know Rajeev from working with him for our place of employment. I originally met him in Atlanta, and then we both moved to Denver separately for the same reason. And then now he's my neighbor again. So he lives above me. So we're very close at the moment. Also, I'm enjoying this chat. Thank you, Alex and Duncan, for being our chat goblins again. Loving it. And then, so Rajeev, also, fun fact, he's a Canadian citizen who was born in Michigan, right? And then you lived in Michigan your entire childhood. So he's got some Michigan cred. Anything else that the world at large needs to know, Rajeev?
Question 1, though. Why did you come to the U.S.? Shit's fucked over here. In Canada, you got like free healthcare and stuff. What's going on?
Well, so I was actually born in Michigan, and my mom is a Canadian citizen, and you can get Canadian citizenship apparently if your parents are Canadian up until your 18th birthday. So I just, my mom just got me free citizenship.
Damn. So why did she come here? What's the allure?
I guess she married my dad, and then he was living in Metro Detroit.
Man, your dad must be quite a catch to bring you over to the U.S.
So
we didn't know things were so problematic back then.
Rajeev, as someone who's never been to Detroit or Michigan at all, but I've heard a lot of terrible things. Are the rumors true? Is it a terrible place?
Absolutely not. So, Detroit is a dangerous place in the same way that the bad parts of Chicago, Atlanta, New York, LA, any big city has dangerous places. Granted, Detroit's are probably bigger by percentage of the area than most other places. But I mean, the downtown Detroit is really, really nice these days. You've got all of your young professional things. The lofts are getting expensive. You got bars and stuff. Downtown's really nice. All the surrounding areas around that get a little bit. There was a lot of poverty that came from the decline of the auto industry in Michigan, and that's still playing out. But there's a lot of money being poured into the city to revitalize it, and those efforts have come a long way in the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years.
So, would you say that there's a lot of gentrification, right?
There is, yes.
Ah, yes.
For sure. Which, I mean, obviously not always a good thing, but it does help with the image and with pouring money into the city.
Yeah.
Which hopefully should help everybody.
Are you planning on moving back to Michigan at some point, or?
I don't think so.
Maybe in the far future, or no?
Maybe in the far future. As of right now, I don't have any plans. I like the idea of living in Atlanta, Denver, all these places. Maybe one day we'll go back. We'll see.
All right. Summer is here, and I'm drinking a Dos Equis. Love it. It's a summer beer. Barstool Sports has referred to the upcoming 20s as the whoring 20s. And everyone was, before this, I feel like there was a definite shift that people were like, it's going to be the roaring 20s. How do you guys envision this summer is going to play out after everything opens up? Do you think we're actually going to be going to bars? I mean, I've already been to a few bars now that I've been vaccinated.
I think we'll be able.
Still on the down low.
I've stopped making predictions about the future. Starting approximately last September, in June, when we were like, this is what September will be like. September, this is what we said, this is what December will be like. In December, we said this is what March will be like. We were wrong every time.
Well,
and so with COVID, I've just stopped trying to make predictions of the future. I think it's gonna be a weird summer though.
Before in 2018, I had an environmental freak out because I read the paper on the International Panel on Climate Change or whatever, and so I was just like, man, Future. It's not. It doesn't appear to be happening. Gotta live in the moment or whatever. And then 2020 happens. Of course, the pandemic comes along, and the whole time I've been going like not developing plans or anything like that. Also, I just have incredibly overblown ADHD. What is it like? Wait, no, overblown is when people make too big of a deal about it. It is just balls to the wall. That
Overrepresented. It's just
yes,
it's very present.
or yeah. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the whoring 20s. I'm just gonna be like living for the moment. I'm gonna get my second vaccine on the 6th because I'm Pfizer gang.
Weak Johnson and Johnson and
Would
John.
you like boys?
But
I'm worried that if I go out there, this is Tennessee, so I'm gonna be around a lot of people who've like been out. You know, I'm like just coming out and be like, "Hey guys, we all did our part, right?" It's like, no, not us. You know, I'm just like, shit, fuck, you're all assholes. I gotta get out of here.
Yep.
Duncan's cracking me up.
It's a problem because you can only do what you can do, and you just see everybody else doing what they're doing, and you're like, well, could I have been doing that? But no, I want to keep people safe. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's only so much. Like at some point, now that we're vaccinated, we're going back. Like, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna try and be as safe as I can, and I mean, granted, I should have immunity now, but don't want to like potentially spread to someone else. But still gonna go release some quarantine woes out upon the world. Let's just be honest. I'm gonna have a hot girl summer this summer. It's facts.
I know Hardy's ready.
Everyone in the chat is Moderna gang. Just gonna say sorry that you're you. You know, it's Pfizer gang right here, number 1.
Yeah, get that one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's all about that Johnson and Johnson giving me the hot boy summer. Now I had a terrible fever, back in the gym, working out, losing weight, gaining muscle. Gonna be a hot boy, and I'm gonna have the best hot girl summer that you can possibly have. All these other girls gonna be jealous about my my sick.
I want to go camping finally. I've always like kind of formed the plan, but school gets in the way, and then when it's over, I'm gonna do it.
We're
My
currently
birthday's
in
right
Denver.
on May 14th too.
Come to Denver, Pablo. We're
Yeah,
going camping next
come to
weekend.
Denver, and we're going camping next weekend. So
Hell yeah. Well,
the flights are
I gotta
actually
get
really
to
cheap.
Denver.
The flights are actually really cheap. I think you can probably get like an $100 round trip flight, not 1,000.
Shit. I was like, what the fuck? $1,000?
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because Knoxville has a flight to Denver. Denver is a frontier hub, and they have a flight to Denver that runs, I think, either once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. And flights are really cheap whenever I wanted to come back to Knoxville. It's just you have to be on their schedule, kind of. So this also goes for any of you chat boys. If you guys want to come to Denver and you have $100 to your name, please come visit. We'll go.
I'm a pro plane writer. Like, I've been riding around on planes basically since I could form memories. To the point where I don't have a clear idea of where Colorado ends and where Argentina begins. Like when it comes to my early childhood development. And then it'd be quickly going from like Argentina, Colorado, back to Argentina, over to California, over to Tennessee, occasionally visiting Argentina from California or Tennessee. Like, I can sleep on those things.
I remember the day I met Pablo, and I thought he was a very strange boy. I did not understand Pablo at the time.
I'm from everywhere. I'm mostly Tennessee, though, these days.
So, Rajeev, what is your personal hot girl summer gonna be? What is your ideal summertime?
Well, I think the most important thing I just want to do now is to do things. Late 2019, early 2020, I was just always incredibly busy. You know, I was going to visit people we were always doing, trivia nights and going out to bars, going downtown. Even though we didn't really go downtown that much, I'd like to do some more of that. And I just want to just always be busy again, which is going to take a minute, I think. I realize that, all of our social skills are not up to par with what they were immediately prior to the pandemic, when we were just always doing things.
Leveling the
But I
playing
think
field,
that's-
giving me a fair chance.
That's
Yeah.
true. I think Hardy has maintained his very well.
I don't
Great
know.
So,
equalizer.
No. Yeah, I'm saying mine hasn't gone down that much, but everyone else has gone down. So maybe I have a chance now. So
yeah, so we'll have to see. But I think that's, and then also, of course, hopefully getting back in the dating apps, putting myself back out there. But I think that might be a little bit secondary to just fun with friends.
we definitely need to
Man.
start going to
What-
trivia again. That's a move.
Dating apps are hell, though. My God.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. Getting
I'm
ghosted.
not about that life.
Getting ghosted all the time. I got ghosted twice last week. Not a good feeling. And like we had planned a date, and they just like never messaged me after we had planned on going. So unfortunate, but that's what you got to deal with.
It's like choice paralysis or something like that. I think that just women get on dating apps and they get like a shit ton of matches, right? And then they're just like, oh shit, I'm overwhelmed. I got FOMO or something from picking anyone in particular to hang out with. Also, men might murder me.
My
Or
main
I'll just
problem-
gain a lifelong stalker or something like that. Meanwhile, with guys, it's sort of like you match with someone and it's like, oh, is this person even gonna like put in the effort or anything? Because you kind of feel disposable in a sense.
I 100% agree with what Paulo
Yeah,
said.
I feel very disposable. My main problem is I feel like it's really hard to facilitate an interesting conversation to start on the app because, like, people will just first message "Hey" and respond with like dumb things, and then like the prompts that people give like on their profiles are really boring because number one, everyone's already responded to those prompts. So like, how much can you say that's super unique about like, oh yes, I love brunch. Like, okay, yeah, me too. I love margaritas. Let's go.
There's only so many ways to be unique when she's got 100 new matches a week.
Rajeev, I think you're underestimating these numbers. People are, if they're actively like swiping, they could probably be getting like in the hundreds, especially in Denver. Like,
And
oh my gosh.
which makes it, it's difficult to stand out. And there's not much you can do about that. That's why, if you can meet people through friends, probably your best bet.
Yeah.
Or through activities, which is something I've never been good at, but something I want to start. Maybe meetups or just do things that you're interested in. It's probably your best bet. It's gonna be a lot more effort up front, I think, but it's probably easier in the long run.
Duncan in the chat says, I'll just continue finding new things I want to fix about myself. First, to justify never using the dating apps. Duncan, you're already
Duncan,
perfect.
you speak to me on a personal level.
You're already perfect, Duncan. I can't allow this. You like yes, everyone should be working on themselves, but you need to put yourself out there because you never know what you're gonna find.
That
But
was my
also,
excuse for, like,
what I
all of
like-
2019.
What I like about the dating apps is that you get an idea of the kinds of girls that are into you. And for some reason, I think I've narrowed it down to very like artsy girls.
You look like you could be an artist.
Yeah, like very bisexual women that just radiate. I think I just have bi-wife energy. The third one is like girls who like think of me as like a ticket to go like travel to Argentina, basically, or like various Latin American countries. They're just like, oh man, like yeah, take me to your home country. Like I'm not just gonna bring anybody over to Argentina immediately. Gonna meet my whole family. I want to spend my time over there. What the heck? Like, oh well, things like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rajeev does have it right with the idea of being friends first. I think that's probably a slightly healthier. Not that it's unhealthy to start online dating, but it's just toxic waters that you're just treading in.
You don't have not necessarily starting as friends first, but I mean like going through your friends. So if like your friends' friends
Yeah,
or acquaintances.
yeah. I actually went on a double date just this week, and hopefully, I don't know if it's gonna work out between us, but I think at minimum that we've added a new friend to the friend group, and they'll begin coming to our mutual events, and that's always good for me. And I think the real move, number one, we gotta move everyone. Like, okay, we gotta mobilize all of our friends and just combine them and be like, hey, you want to invite some friends of friends to this thing we're doing, and we gotta reinvigorate everyone's like social lives all at once with just massive events.
It absolutely does not help that most of my friends here in Denver are from work, and everybody at work moved to Denver for work, and so they don't have like other friends outside of
Which
work.
is good.
Because
we gotta hang out with our friends who are like tangential to our work friends, and then we gotta have them bring their friends into the fold.
Here's the plan. You all start mutually dating each other and form a giant polycule over at your work, and that's actually just a front to form a union. And then you take over the workplace through collectively investing in it so that you all have mutual ownership, and then you own a tax company.
Fun fact.
That's the plan.
Fun fact.
You win.
Rajeev and I are pretending that we're each other's significant others for any work events. That way, any ones that I get to go to, Rajeev can go to, and then.
This is our new plan. Once things start opening up and we can start doing things again, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is my SO Hardy.
This is my domestic partner.
Damn, you gotta hook me up with those hot art punk girls, Duncan. I'm down to beat up a Nazi to impress him too. God, I hate Nazis.
Pablo has a video evidence to prove it. He
Yeah, they come back and they're just like, and people are all like, oh, we got this Nazi's in a suit. He's suddenly too good to be. I mean, I didn't punch a Nazi on film. I wish I did, but I did get punched by a person from a crowd of people. Okay, anyway. What is this? Aw, cute.
But yeah, so I think Rajeev, I think some of the photos we took hiking today, I think you look good in some of those, so those might be good additions to your profile. And I think
I wasn't ready. My hair wasn't done.
I think you're fine. Look, the artist will take care of his subjects. Don't worry.
That's true. I believe in you, Hardy.
But I think I like Bumble as well. Like, I tried Bumble out again recently. There's a new feature on Bumble that they have where you can like ask people questions. Like, it's just like you can ask, like, it has like question prompts, and you send your answer, but they can't see it until they answer. I have never figured out how to actually activate this feature, but if someone has asked the question to me, then you can like I can respond, and then I can send them another question, which I think is a really good way to just like spitball topics and learn things about each other.
That way they're not just opening with hey.
Yeah, and it's no pressure either, because like they either respond and you get an answer, or you're just like they never see your answer, you know. So I think it's a really good feature. I've tried it, and every time it's been like an interesting thing. But I think dating apps are here to stay. Obviously, if you can meet people without the apps, that's probably better. But not to say that it's bad to meet someone on the apps, but because I mean,
like it or not, they're just a part of
they're
society now.
Yeah, and people
it just hurts your self-esteem, I think, like the structure
it does.
of the application. Because
Yes.
then when you get ghosted by like the nth time, you're just like, am I ugly? And it's like, no, it's the it's the system. It's made to get you to pay money or whatever, and it's also just not good. The women are overwhelmed and the guys are dejected.
Yep.
Like that's usually the case.
It also, I mean, it also works differently for different people. Like Rajeev, please tell us about your Tinder data download.
Yeah, so on Tinder, you can download all of your Tinder data. So I think it's all the messages that you've ever sent. I'm not sure if you can see the message that you got back, but more importantly, you can see by date how many swipes you made, how many left swipes, how many right swipes, and then how many of those were matches. And so I downloaded the data, and I just did it for the period that I was in, the 7-ish months that I was swiping in Denver before the pandemic. And so I swiped total on 1,800 women, right swiped on 1,100 of them, and then I matched with 5 of them, which is less than 0.5% match rate.
God damn.
Yeah, that's bad. My match rate's also
So
not
Tinder
really
is the worst app in my opinion. It is the shallowest. And on average, Asian guys do have a worse time. But I think that's more problem with Tinder than dating apps
Yeah.
in general. I had much better luck on Hinge.
So here's what's interesting, and I haven't tried this, but I hear that like Match.com has the most users in Denver. But I feel like that can't be our age group.
Yeah,
It's not
Match.com
possible.
is like people our parents' age, in my opinion.
Like, I don't think it's possible. Who's going on to Match.com?
That was big in like 2005.
Yeah, but apparently it's by far the highest percentage of people in Denver are on Match.
Maybe I'll.
Well, you want to meet someone who divorced in the 2008 financial crisis because their mortgage went underwater, their marriage is in shambles because of financial issues? Go to Match.com. Meet your divorced dad who hangs out in his sad single-bedroom apartment with a charcuterie composed of just like some ketchup and like the Kroger cheese.
Hey, Kroger has great cheeses. I will defend them on that.
Yeah,
I will say that OkCupid used to have incredibly good data and data analysis. They used to write really good blog posts. They used to like release their data, and they had really, really interesting like trends and stuff like that. Things that you might not think were intuitive. And then they got bought out and they stopped doing that. But I wish I could have been on.
Did they get bought out by Match Group or?
I'm not sure.
Because I know that like all of them except for Bumble are owned pretty much by the same company, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But can you get like a line graph of like how much you swipe per day, so you can just like get like a feeling of how thirsty you are on like an annual basis? You know, is that possible?
It definitely.
I really think you could.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sure you could do that. Let me actually see if I have my Tinder data still.
Yeah, you can go ahead. If you want to, you can share it on the screen.
Yeah, I could. If it has timestamps, I could just do that myself. Model it in Excel.
But,
Damn.
It definitely
That'd
for
be
me
good.
it comes in waves. Like I won't swipe very much for like several weeks or days, and then maybe like 1 week I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna swipe every day until I hit my swipe limit. You know, just because I'm bored or something. Especially like early, like halfway through quarantine when like I didn't see people that often. People were less on like Discord, just hanging out.
I have like a hard time getting through all my likes because I've just developed the policy of swiping left on like farmhouse type people. You know, like if you look up like the farmhouse aesthetic for interior design on like Google, I feel like this is the best way to describe like eggshell font, live, laugh, love, cursive type, you know, shit, right? And
I've adopted not your farmhouse ideology, but I have adopted your swiping ideology, and I swipe left on a lot more people now. Now unless they're like my perfect criteria, I'm not gonna swipe right on you. Basically,
it's important that if you did match with them and you're like, oh, I don't really want to. I'm not that interested in this person. Yeah. I think in that case, you should have swiped left.
I don't swipe left
yeah.
if they're hot, like just because they're hot, right? Because
yeah, exactly.
I feel like everyone's swiping left on people who are hot. And there's like this weird like ELO score that they use to like calculate your like match things. If you swipe right on somebody and they swipe left on you, depending on your desirability scores or whatever, it like fucks it up. But if you swipe left on people who you're pretty sure are gonna swipe left on you, then because you know it's kind of easy to tell like they're Republicans or you know they're Republicans.
I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just swipe right on everybody. I'm like, no. You swipe right on people who you're interested in and you think might also swipe right on you.
Yes,
exactly.
So Rajeev, I think you're right, and I think I've adopted Pablo's ideology, and I've been getting much better results. I think the algorithm is ranking me higher because I'm not swiping right on a bunch of people.
So I swipe left on 10 out of 10s who like look like Instagram models.
You can't always do that though, because I did date a girl that I thought had like a completely like this can't be real profile.
Okay, John, just admit you're a Chad. Let's get a move
I'm not
on.
a Chad.
But then, you know.
Oh no!
What's Pablo?
I just kicked him because I'm a chat. No, I'm just kidding. He probably disconnected with his internet.
Yeah. And then, but more importantly, like Pablo was saying, you swipe left on people you just don't see yourself dating.
The real question is,
back.
You gotta make
your
sure
anger
that,
was so strong it kicked me from the.
You gotta make sure that you gotta make sure that you are willing to be like, would I want to take this person on a date? Like, would that date be fun? Like, would I hate this date? all right, I'm not swiping
I
on
mean,
you.
a lot of people are on there for validation, just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I still got it, or whatever. But then when it comes to like actually conversating, actually getting something going, it's like, oh, I'm in too deep. I'm in over my head. I'm not sure if I actually want to do this. Like we had a friend of ours. She's a woman. She was looking for a very particular kind of kink, right? She found it, and now that she had it, she didn't know what to do with it, right? There was like the big problem of like, oh, should I go through with this? I don't believe it. I don't know, or whatever.
Another person we need to have on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, not naming names, but I'm just saying, like, that's usually the experience. People get in over their heads and they don't actually want to do the follow through. I think I got in over my head during the pandemic because I would like match with people and be like, okay, are we ever gonna really meet now? Because this is like the middle of the fucking pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
what's the plan? You know,
That's
what's
actually why I
what's the
deleted
idea
my
here?
apps last April, I think. I deleted my profiles actually as well, just because I knew that I wasn't meeting up with people.
I went on
during
a few
the pandemic.
video dates, and I thought those were pretty cool. So, like, I went on a few video dates, and only one of them I actually met up with afterwards. But then, like, it was great because then
Video days just do not sound like
it's not that bad. I mean, maybe I'm just adapted to being pretty good at them now because I'm like, just like, hey, what's up? Arm movements. I
I mean,
but like,
video dates, I just feel like they can't really capture.
it's
I'm
not
one of
as
those people
good.
That
It's definitely not
likes
as good.
They're definitely far
activities,
better than like
you know?
talking on the phone.
You can't get the
Being
presence.
to your faces.
The first week of quarantine, I like went on I played chess online with this girl, and then I got ghosted. But we played chess for 2 hours. I feel like what doesn't make any sense.
I almost got a chess date, almost, and I feel robbed. And so, like, basically, like, we both, like, mutually ghosted each other. And so there's, like, no conversation back and forth. I was like, oh, man. And she was quite a catch because she seemed as disillusioned with the whole system and all our institutions as I am. And so I'm like, oh, thank goodness this person might be able to understand my terminal pessimism. You know, you can't date someone too happy unless you can match their energy, you know. But like pensive chess girl gone, math girl gone. Then there was like 2 other like video dates. That I just feel like the only thing that I got across was my manic energy.
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference. Like, people don't really see the presence you have in a room in a video date, really, and like,
Yeah.
also like it's not as fun because you go on a like a regular date, you're just like, let me get a beer, and then like that just changes the dynamic, because people's inhibitions are lowered. Some people are really awkward.
If you're drinking on the video date now, you're just drinking a
Also, there's like
video chatting.
there's a little bit of like a buffer. Like if you like let's say you go to a restaurant, like during like the critical moments, like right after you meet this person, you have a menu to look at. You don't have to immediately be like, oh, what do I need to talk about? You're like, oh yes, what do I want to order? They're doing the same thing. That's a good buffer. You don't have that on a video date.
You can only talk to them, and I think silences are more awkward on video calls.
They are.
Than they are in real life.
They are much more awkward because there might be some like weird background noise, or there's just like nothing going on.
And that's why I like
Restaurants have
activity-oriented dates, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you go to one of those things where you drink wine and you paint stuff, right? You're around other people. There's like a different like dynamic there, and also you're doing some like task-oriented thing. Or maybe this is just like the thing where I have to be fiddling with my hands on something to be able to properly listen to a person.
No, I definitely agree that meeting someone while you're like doing an activity probably makes a lot more sense than like just being like, hey, tell me about you. Let's sit down and tell me every secret you have. Like,
yeah. But I'm uncomfy going to something like a club, like a debate thing, being like, hey girl, like I'm gonna go into your hobby, into your space, and I'm gonna make it about me hitting on you now. This is like, I don't know.
Right. I do
It's
agree
like,
with that.
like when is it appropriate? Because of course it's inappropriate. Like woman has her headphones in, like on a train, for example. She's just getting to where she needs to go, right? Inappropriate to hit on her. She clearly does not look like she wants to talk, and so on and so forth. Maybe person at a library, but then there's like the whole coffee shop thing, because then like some girls write, yeah, the reason why I do my work at a coffee shop is because I potentially might like meet someone who's like, oh, what's with this, and I have like dated somebody a little bit saying something to them. I like taking girls spray painting if we know each other. Yeah, that's good. Like doing crimes. doing crimes together is great because you have like that mutual blackmail. You're both complicit. Like if
Also,
you
the
gotta,
adrenaline rush. Come on.
yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
that's big. And
Really
if you
gets
get
you
time
going.
together,
Plus, you can be Duncan plus Stacy equals win on the side of a building. That's their immortalized. You have a record of that. It's a win.
If you're going on a lot of dates, you're gonna have to find a lot of different buildings.
Yeah.
Let's just
They can't.
you can just become you'll just become the next Banksy. Sell your art for millions on auction. People are like, please let Banksy defile my building. I want it.
That's true. Banksy can do whatever he wants now.
Yeah, it just makes like Banksy has started out as like this like very like anti-capitalist, trying to do like anti-imperialism type paintings or whatever, and it just like completely goes over. Like people miss the point. It's just an art market now. It's just like, oh shit, he painted on our building. Time to cut that shit out and
sell it. Yeah.
Even now, it's arguably like Banksy himself has become corrupted because like he was selling his work in the art market, and he did that thing where he shredded his art at the art market, but that really only made his art more valuable.
People lost their minds over that.
That was awesome. It cool.
Probably made it like that painting probably triple in value.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I bet the guy who bought it was like, ah! but then immediately afterward, he's like, wait a minute, now it's famous for some beforehand it wouldn't have been that cool, and now it's like one of the coolest piece because like, but like, is Banksy even still the same Banksy? Like, do we know that? Because he was just an unnamed entity. Like, how do we verify?
It's like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, how do we verify that that's Banksy? There's like a lot of records of like the Dread Pirate Roberts. For those who don't know, this guy is like the guy who ran like the Silk Road, and he got like, I forget what his name is, but he got like picked up by the FBI, and they're like, you're the one who started the website, and but there's like a lot. I think his name's like Ross Ulbricht or whatever, but like there's like a lot of evidence that like points to him. Like, because he like originally posted on like forums and stuff, and was like, you guys should use the Silk Road, and they're like, wait, that's your username, and you're the first person who ever posted about it online, ever. Like, okay, so yeah, cool, it's him. He's Dread Pirate Roberts, but like, Banksy doesn't have like a trail like that, and I don't even know how like people were like, that's a Banksy. Like, did he sign his art? Maybe I'm speaking out of my ass here, but did he sign his art?
I don't think he does. I think that he just has like this general stencil.
He does have a style that is pretty distinct, but like I've heard that there are like rumors that Banksy is like not even an individual, that it's like a team of people.
Probably. I mean, that could be the case. I mean, I feel like it is a repeatable style. You could like cut out like a stencil and then spray paint over it, or I don't know what else he does, but you know.
All right, Duncan.
He issued NFTs. Fuck NFTs.
Fuck
too.
NFTs.
That makes me fucking hate Banksy. He's like, I'm gonna make my art something that you burn oil to have value or whatever.
It takes an incredible amount of power to just verify one NFT.
Well, the NFTs make me sick because they're blatant cash grabs. Like the people who are making money off the NFTs are the people who like started early and they were like, yes, NFTs are the best. Everyone should buy them. And then they sold their NFTs for like $65,000. Or the companies that are hosting the NFTs, because they're getting like, I don't even know how much percentage it is, but it's a lot. It's like 10 to 20% of every NFT sold. The fee goes to the NFT site that's selling you the NFT. And then the data in the NFT, so if you're selling digital art, is not even in the coin. It's not even like in the crypto. It's just like hosted on a server with a hard link in the crypto. So if that server ever goes down, that art is no longer going to be viewable based on that NFT. It is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
It's definitely money laundering. I agree, Duncan. You're right. It's money laundering, and also like fooling people in. It's like it's a scam. It's a scam.
Yeah,
if you bought an NFT,
tax evasion too.
If you bought an NFT,
art
it's a
is big
scam.
enough money laundering, tax evasion.
Like the fucking like the Jake Paul NFT or whatever that was like he sold so many dollars. Like he sold like $200,000 worth of NFTs. Like that's those are not gonna be worth anything in like a year. Like maybe I'm wrong and I'm like an unwashed, unclean one who's like
I will say with cryptocurrencies in general, I've been wrong. I still don't really understand why Bitcoin.
I
is
was a big
a thing,
supporter of Bitcoin,
but I've been
for
wrong
many
basically
years.
for many years now. So I've just accepted that I'm now the old, unknowing boomer who doesn't understand the cryptos, and they are here to stay.
I was a big
I mean,
supporter of crypto
I
for
get
many
the
years.
cryptos. I mean, it's just like a distributed ledger, and the
Well,
problem with
no.
it is that it's so expensive ecologically speaking. Like,
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
more.
that
It uses
it's
more. Bitcoin itself
the-
uses more power
The
than
current
all of
actually
Argentina.
the current way they measure that, or like they like to make a similarity to, is they say that Bitcoin uses more energy than Argentina. That's their
Yeah.
their current
And
way of
it
saying
won't be long before it uses more electricity than Germany, or
Yeah, it
more
just
electricity
keeps going up.
than some other.
Well, yeah. So like
Yeah.
I understand like the math, or not the math, but like the idea behind the idea of like blockchain, something like that. I don't understand why it's worth, what is it now?
It's not
62
better than the banking
thousand?
system. The banking system can already
Yeah.
do that, and it's just artificially slow because we're like fraud detection.
Well, I mean, to transfer money on a banking system takes.
Yeah, it takes
It's
two
like
like 2
archaic.
days for
Well,
the ACH.
Bitcoin
but that's-
is powered by ideology, basically, like libertarian ideology. The whole thing is that I want a trustless, decentralized system where there's
Right.
no central bank or
Which-
whatever. Because I
which is
watched a
great
YouTube video
until
that said
someone
the
steals your
Federal
money.
Reserve.
you
So
have no
my
recourse.
argument against that, Pablo, and as I used to like crypto, but I decided that I don't like it anymore. I still own a little bit of Bitcoin, but not much.
The-
But my
everyone-
problem,
Everyone wants a decentralized, no trust, or like trustworthy system, until we realize why we've put some regulations in place. If someone steals your money in Bitcoin, it's gone. You can't do anything.
But also, like, being
Nobody
able
can
to
do it.
manipulate fiat currencies is actually a useful financial technology. Like the Federal Reserve being able to like bail us out of 2008 financial recessions, being able to
well,
like help
Bitcoin
us
already
like, during
gets
the
manipulated
pandemic.
as well,
Mhm.
because like one guy who owns like a one whale selling all their Bitcoin would be a huge impact on the market. Also,
Yeah.
so like the only my problem is like all the like the values of Bitcoin are like, oh yes, it's a decentralized currency, and like developing nations, if you're like getting robbed by your like dictator, you can buy Bitcoin. Yes, that makes sense. That's great that exists. I love it. Cool. The problem is most people who buy Bitcoin are not buying Bitcoin to spin the Bitcoin as a currency. They're buying Bitcoin because they think they can sell the Bitcoin later down the road for more than what they paid for it. Meaning that it's really just a pump and dump scheme.
Which,
And
to be fair, that is also how stocks.
That's
work.
also how stocks work.
Granted, stocks you do have.
but the
Well, it's how
stocks,
anything
ownership
works.
of a
You
country.
can
Yeah.
you can buy up housing with the expectation that you can charge more rent later.
I don't
And so-
disagree though, Hardy.
but no. Like stocks work like that. But stocks are also
You inherently have.
Stocks are
partial
inherently, in
ownership.
some way, even though their valuations might not be tied to this value for a short period of time, but over the long term, they are related to the performance of the underlying company, right? So you pick a good company, you pick a winner, and you'll get paid more. Or in theory, the shares should be worth more. They're not always worth more.
Or you
But
pick
like,
Nikola, and then
or you
just
buy
make
Nikola and
money.
you lose. But if you're buying Bitcoin, like okay, you still have that in the crypto world because you can buy like some shitty like shit coins that like are trash, and like you can literally make a cryptocurrency right now by going on a website, naming it, telling it, like saying exactly like how many you want to exist, and then it'll just exist, and it's just like built on top of Ethereum. And like people are just making random coins right now, and they're publishing them, and people are buying them, and then a lot of these are just like they don't make any sense. They don't offer any utility. Like
Yeah.
Bitcoin doesn't really offer any utility, but it's also just the biggest, so it has its place in the market. Ethereum has some stuff that it does, so it has its place in the market.
I mean, that's the difference between use value and like exchange value. The whole point of Bitcoin is that it has no use value. It's completely exchange value. And so the reason why people hold it is for speculation. It's because it's worth something to someone else. It's the same thing like with money. Like you don't have to believe in money, but you can't believe that other people don't believe in it.
Yeah. Well, there's also. Have you guys heard of SafeMoon? Because SafeMoon is fucking whack. Okay, so like.
What's safe mode?
So SafeMoon is a new crypto that's like.
Oh.
It might have been around for a while, but I heard of it like a month or two ago. But like basically
Yes.
the idea is like you get rewarded for holding it longer. So it's very much pyramid scheming. So like if you own a lot of Safe Moon, like whenever someone sells Safe Moon, you get like a portion of that fee if you hold Safe Moon. So if you hold the most Safe Moon, whenever someone else sells Safe Moon, you get more Safe Moon.
This sounds like a pyramid scheme.
It is a pyramid scheme. And like
Yeah.
the idea is that you never like you're supposed to buy into Safe Moon and then not sell it. But like what's the point of Safe Moon existing then? Because the only way that Safe Moon is useful is if you like cash out the Safe Moon at some point, right? Because you're not gonna be able to buy stuff with Safe Moon. And my other problem with Bitcoin and other crypto in general is like the whole like it's a currency. It's not a useful currency because the transaction times, yes, they might be shorter than an ACH transfer for a bank, but like you can't go and like buy a soda in a store with real-time transactions with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum's much faster, but it's still bad. Like if we pay with credit cards, that transaction settles instantly.
But also, if everyone used Bitcoin, if we lived in this reality where everybody was using it, like we would quickly head to an environmental and ecological disaster.
If everyone was trying to do that and we were trying to verify transactions,
the banking system works.
Much larger scale.
There's nothing wrong with the banking system. Like I'm fine with Bitcoin existing, but I think it is overblown and overhyped right now, and I hope for a crash. I'm sorry, you all you nerds out there, get mad at me, please. I would like Bitcoin to crash because I think it's ultimately bad for our planet. I don't think it's gonna crash for real anytime soon, but you never know.
See, I think a good thing about Bitcoin is you can just easily buy it in your local currency, and then basically cash it out for US dollars.
So I like that exists, but
Which makes it easy. It's easier than trying to go to your bank.
But wouldn't it make more sense to just like use like US dollar coin or something, which is like it's a crypto that matches exactly to the US dollar?
It could get kind of tricky sometimes. Like in Argentina, I think when Cristina Kirchner was in charge of that country, like there was some thing about like fixed government like rates of exchange between pesos and dollars, and so like a lot of black markets have formed around that. Or like there were some like restrictions of trade, I think, and so a lot of like people in Argentina were like looking because the peso was going under a lot of problems the Argentine peso usually does with like inflation. I think at one point it had 100% inflation in 2 weeks. So people are like really looking to exchange their pesos for dollars, but that is not always easy to do if like the government is trying to get you to use the peso or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there's some good stuff for that. Yes, Alex, I would have loved to get into Bitcoin. I think everyone would have loved to get into Bitcoin back in 2011 or something.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah,
But
back when they were like $11.
The thing is, we knew what they were at the time. We just did not get into it because we didn't have money. But
we were children.
But I just think that like there's nothing really wrong. Also, Rajeev, don't worry about it. But your camera is kind of freaking out a little bit and turning green. We'll edit it out in post. Don't worry. And by that I mean it'll exist on YouTube forever. But I think that there's really no. I don't think that like even if you could spend Bitcoin on like every website, it would still take like 50 minutes for your transaction to post. If you're paying expensive fees, if you want to pay very little fees.
Yeah, the fees of Bitcoin are pretty high.
Although they're very high.
Everyone forgets that every credit card transaction charges 3% to the
yes, but
retailer.
As a credit card owner, I don't pay that because I get those back as rewards. And so maybe
just everyone who doesn't have a credit card pays for your privilege.
Yeah, the prices of goods are artificially inflated to account for that. But like, so basically, what I'm saying is, if you don't have a credit card, you should probably get one.
Yeah, for sure.
And get one with good rewards. There's lots of good ones.
And pay them on time because all the cashback shit from those cards are paid by the late fees and the overdraft fees and all the other shit that
the fees on credit cards are insane. It's like a 20-something.
Yo, yeah, you never want to carry a balance. You should definitely, if you ever want to carry a balance on a credit card, you should just get a different loan instead and pay your credit card off with that loan because you'll. Yeah. But you shouldn't be carrying a balance if you can ever.
Carrying a balance, like it's very expensive to be poor in this country.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
If you ever have to put anything on a credit card, you you might just be screwed for.
So I'm also gonna say that what credit card you should get really depends on like where you are, like money wise.
But what credit card you even can get? Like, if
Well,
you
that
don't have,
depends
like,
on
a
your credit score. But like, I have the American Express Gold card, which is good. But if you do not have a credit card right now, I recommend everyone to get the Discover card because it's really good. Because it's free. First of all, you don't have to pay to own the Discover card because some cards have like annual fees that you must pay. And then you get like a rotating selection of benefits. You get like 5% cash back on those benefits for like 2 months at a time. And so like maybe you'll get like 5% cash back at like gas stations, and then the next month you'll get 5% cash back at like grocery stores. And then like the next month maybe you'll get 5% back at like clothing outlets or whatever.
Here's what you do though. You become the person who like buys everything for your whole apartment complex over at Costco, and then you just get other people to like pay you back because you bought it in bulk for a cheaper price. And then you rack up the points. You're always the person paying for everybody and then getting Venmo'd later at the restaurants and shit like that. And that's the big scam. You can build up all this like credit.
Yeah. That's what when we go on trips, me and my friends, we usually just have one person pay, and
They get
then
the
we'll
points.
Venmo them. And it's usually it used to be whoever got a card and needed the spending target in 4 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're past that, it's somebody just wants the points.
There's a spending target on cards.
Yeah, so the card
only for the first like 3 or 4 months of the year.
So it's for like sign up it's for sign up bonuses. So like the card that I just got the American Express Gold card, and if you spend $4,000 within 6 months, you get a certain number of points back. And then so you want to hit that target. And I paid rent with mine because for some reason our apartment complex was letting us pay rent with our credit cards, and it was not an additional fee. So I was like, why would I not want the points?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Rent's
but yes,
my
and
credit card.
if anyone listening to this doesn't have a credit card, you should get a credit card and treat it like a debit card, and it'll build your credit, and it's really good. You should definitely do that, but don't spend money you don't have on your credit card because that's dangerous.
What you should, if you can afford it, get a credit card. Just get the cheap $0 year credit cards.
And
then make sure that you have an auto pay from your whatever checking or savings account. In my opinion, auto pay is always the best feature because
auto pay doesn't always work if you don't have you don't always some people are a little bit too close to the line and they don't want things.
And that's where it gets tricky because if you're close to the line and you might not have the money for it, you're going to start getting charged an enormous amount of interest.
Yeah.
And it gets very difficult. It snowballs really quickly. And it's very difficult to pay that off.
Which is why you should treat it like a debit card for sure. You don't want to spend money you can't afford. But that's you have to build credit as well, because if you ever want to get like a car loan or a house loan, if you want favorable rates or a rate at all, because right now I don't think you can even get like home.
But here's the thing that kind of like is fucked up. Like other countries don't have a credit score, and the credit score is kind of like a recent thing that's come out. Like the boomers, I don't think have been around. Like the credit score. When was the credit score made? I'm gonna look it up real quick because I don't want to be wrong.
Duncan says
Australia.
just keep paying off your credit cards with more credit cards. I think that actually exists because there's like a balance transfer feature that a lot of cards offer.
After a while, banks will stop giving.
They'll stop giving you new ones, but there are some cards that I think that are specifically designed to like help you get out of credit card debt because they have like balance
usage
transfer.
of credit histories and employment screenings increased from 19% in 1996 to 42% in 2006. So like credit scores is used for employment.
For employment.
Are you sure that it's not employment screenings are used for credit card scores?
No, the other way around.
It's the other way around? That's weird. Anyways, more reason to get a credit card and start building your credit. Because there's only one way to get better credit scores, and it's to use it. Even though it's a fucked up system.
That's with a lot of systems. You have no choice but to play.
Yeah, and that's my philosophy. If I have to play the game, I'm going to try and win it. So, might as well.
When was the freaking FICO score created? First introduced in 1989. That's when the FICO score came out. That's when credit scores became
30 years old.
a thing. Yeah, this is fucking 30 years. We don't have to have this system, but it's one that we have in the United States. My plan is probably just to figure out how to get a remote job and then just like move to some central like American country and just be Spanish there. I don't know. Like
You still
it's
have to pay American taxes though.
yeah, but it'd be a lot cheaper for cost of living and housing and everything else. I mean, I'd risk it. Like
Honestly, that sounds pretty baller. Like, I like when I settle down, maybe I move to like some random country. I would have to be able to speak the language, but like, you can get really nice houses in like lower cost of living countries.
And you also have to pay like the Argentinian or the
probably, but
tax or whatever.
You could probably do that, but like you can, if the housing is so cheap, it shouldn't really matter, right?
That's true. It'll be offset.
Like you could have like really nice houses in like South America in some areas, and like live a very wealthy person for the same price as like a 3-bedroom house in Denver. So
yeah, money buys
like a 1-bedroom house in Denver.
But like these aren't actually like poor countries. They're just
no, they're not poor. They're not poor. It's just that the United States housing market is extremely inflated, I think. Not that it's necessarily overvalued, because it's worth what people are willing to pay, and so until people aren't willing to pay that, it's going to keep going up. But like,
in the U.S., the places that are affordable though are usually like places like in the deep South or like in the boonies or like like what keeps the rent low is the racism.
So what's whack is
the lack of everything.
I learned this in between because I know we talked about this with Pam with like rent, like landlord stuff, but I learned that Japan, their average rent price has been the same for like 20 years because they like just continuously build more housing. And it's like the government of Japan just continuously is like, oh, we need more housing, let's make more. So like the rent has fluctuated a little bit, but it has not gone up. Like,
wait, their government is helping their people?
Yeah. So it sounds great. I think that we should definitely be.
But also, their stock market has also been flat for 20 years.
Yes, but they have
had no inflation.
But in the U.S., this is how it goes. Someone's like, I want to propose a walkable, dense community with stores on the bottom and multi-family housing setups, and we're gonna have a Section 8 housing available too, so it's like equitable to multiple income groups. Like let's do it. And let's put bike lanes or whatever. And then some people come in and they're just like, oh, those bike lanes, there's going to mean more bikes on the road. This means more traffic. There's also going to be more people living there with cars. That means even more traffic. I hate traffic. I don't want this to be built. Another person's like, this lowers my property values. Also, I'm racist. I do not want Section 8 housing around my neighborhood. Or like another person's just like, if there's more housing, then how am I going to charge more rent? I am a landlord. I do not want this thing to be built. Where's the environmental impact study? Like, that's
all the NIMBYs, if you will.
Yeah, the NIMBYs are just like, no, don't build this here. And this happens like whenever there's any kind of like urban renewal, even if it's like equitable, people are going to say, oh, this is going to be gentrification in order to prevent additional houses from being built. People don't get displaced if more housing is built to accommodate the people who are coming into an area.
We absolutely need more housing, basically everywhere.
Well,
yeah,
like
we need
Denver...
to fucking tear down the goddamn suburbs also. Like, if you're going to tear down racist monuments, start with the suburbs. Spicy take from Pablo.
I was looking at Denver housing, and there's like basically none. Especially like that's like in my like price range. Like stuff will go in and out of the market in like a week or so sometimes, and then it looks like there's only like pretty much like 20 or 30 like different apartment complex companies that you can rent from, and then like there's a couple of like individual like smaller apartments that still exist that aren't in a conglomerate, but like it's just it's a wild west out here where there's just
and
no
also every
housing.
time there's a small crash or probably like things like COVID happen when moderate sized landlords can't pay their mortgages or whatever, they're going to default, and then that property is going to go to a bigger fish. In all as in all industries, everything just keeps getting
consolidated.
Consolidated up.
Pyramided up, just like SafeMoon.
Yeah. And I see Alex's comment where he's like, credit scores came out for a reason to deny minorities loans. And that doesn't surprise me. So
That
much of
sounds-
how
yeah.
like the whole geography of the United States is built is all like redlining, loan denials, environmental racism. That's most of why anything is anywhere. Like,
Most
why
things
is
are
there a
designed
bad side of
to make sure
Detroit?
somebody couldn't do something.
Yeah. Or like, shit, I forgot where I was going. But like when it comes to like these regular cycles that the economy goes through, it's people who have like wealth who are able to pretty much like absorb like the shocks of that.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
and they're able to make like regular payments on stuff. Like their lives are more stable. And so yeah, I mean the credit score would just be yet another mechanism for people with money to have greater access to opportunities than people who
And
don't.
that's the other thing. So I was just thinking about this when I said the Japanese stock market has been flat. So everybody knows the U.S. stock market was booming in 2020, but the majority of people don't really invest in their 401ks. They don't have investment accounts. The majority of the U.S. population did not get any value out of the inflation, the enormous inflation in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, like, to me, I was like, oh wow, the stock market's going up. This is making a lot of people
Well, yeah,
money.
I don't know exactly what the
It's-
statistics are, but I think it's like something like 30% of people like actively are like investing. It's just because
Well,
we
most
just have
people's
like a
money
huge.
is
we just
tied
have a
up
lo-
in their houses and their cars.
Well, yeah, houses is. I mean, having your money tied up in houses is probably good too because the housing market's been going up
It's
just
not
like the
bad.
stock market. But cars are depreciating on average. Pretty much almost every car you'll ever buy is just going to immediately be worth less than what you bought it for, especially if it's new. Maybe if it's like a really old car and you like restore it, it'll be worth more. But like you also have to restore it, you know.
Yeah, cars are a prison.
Well, cars. I think the only reason to buy a car is because you need to drive somewhere, or you just really like cars and you're willing to accept the financial loss. Like,
How am I gonna go to Target if I don't own a car?
I don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big car person, so I still drive the car that I had in high school, and it is fine. But like, one day I'd like a nicer car, yes, and I will be getting a nicer car eventually. But like, whatever. I'd rather my money be like in the bank or like in investments or whatever. But like, some people are like, cars are like their hobby, you know, and they're just like, hey, I want to buy a really fast car, and like, there's something to be said for that if you can afford that. But it is a terrible investment. It's not an investment. It is a fee. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna lose money just like you would do if you bought into SafeMoon and then sold out after like a week, because 5% of that money, or maybe I don't exactly know the percentage, is gonna go to someone who already owns SafeMoon.
Yeah. Like cars in a lot of the US are just non-optional. In other places, like, yeah, you can walk places, but here it's like cars are like the shackles of which we like put every single poor person under. And then if like something
And
goes
then we
wrong with the
underfund the
engine,
bus system.
Well, the other problem is the like cars. It's really hard to find cars that are cheap. Like my car, the car I drive is valued at like $2,000, maybe $2,500, because when I had got it, it had already been wrecked. Okay, it's not a particularly nice car in the first place. It's a 2011, so it's now 10 years old. Like, it's not a very high value. But if you go to a used car market, you cannot find a car for $2,500. It's not possible. The only way you could possibly find a car for that cheap is like on Craigslist. And like, then you have to deal with the fact that you're buying from some random guy on Craigslist, you know, which is probably not that bad depending on like what you're doing. But like, it is not as easy as going to a dealership. But like, car dealerships don't want to be selling you $2,500 cars because they're not going to make much profit off of that, right?
Yeah.
and car dealerships are their own kind of fucking nightmare. Like,
Also-
the reason why we can't like buy a car online or straight from the
ridiculous.
factory is because the dealerships put themselves as like the middlemen in like these transactions. In some places, they're legally protected as
That's-
like a
Yeah,
business.
I don't think we even realized that was the thing until Tesla was like, we don't want to make a dealership. We'll just sell to the consumer. And then all the states were like, sir, that's illegal.
Yeah, well, they got around
We're just
it.
like,
They're
what?
doing it now, but I don't like
Yeah.
another car company would like. It would have been really hard for another car company who had done that. And I think they kind of got away with it because they're kind of treating their cars like phones, which I think is in another way also bad because Tesla doesn't like, you can't really go to a shop to get your Tesla fixed. You have to go to a Tesla store. I mean, some things you can go to a
Yeah,
shop,
they're the Apple of cars.
but it's kind of stupid. I think that I want the right to
Dealerships
repair.
are nonsense, though.
I want the right to repair on everything, but yes, dealerships are nonsense. They shouldn't exist. I hate negotiating with people like, oh yes, I don't want to buy this car for that price. And then they're like,
two
you
days
want
to buy
to,
my car. 'Cause
and
I
then
had
they want to
walk out.
upsell you on everything, and they're like,
I actually follow a Facebook page where salespeople put their memes, and it's completely filled with like car salesmen. And this has given me like an inner view into like their world, like who they think has like a high credit score. It's people with like cargo pants and like New Balance shoes and like walk around with like a
if you
freaking
got New
holster.
Balance, it's like, I want
Yeah.
that guy. Like,
Yeah. Like their terminology for like if you have a couple like double income, no kids, that's a dino. Oh no,
No,
a
a
dink.
dink.
Yeah, a dink. Yeah. That kind of shit. And their like thing is like, oh, if you don't want to negotiate on the prices, just pay the price that's on the sticker. You know, like or like, why are you arguing with me? Clearly, there's like an information disbalance here because I'm familiar with the cars and you're not, and like, so just take my word for it. Of course, like it's a terrible game that's being played between the customer and the salesman, but like the salesmen are aware of it.
well, my real problem is like, yes, you're probably gonna get screwed by going to a dealership, but you're guaranteed to get like a car that has at least a certain number of like things going right for it and not certain things going wrong, because they're not gonna sell you a car that's like not working.
They're not gonna sell you a lemon.
It might
Well,
have
yeah,
something
unless they're a
wrong.
sketchy dealership.
It might have something wrong with it, but you can usually go back and they'll be like, okay, we'll fix it. Cool. But like if you go into the Craigslist market, you have none of those assurances. This person on Craigslist can just be like, it drives. And then like you can ask to drive it, you can ask to see it, but you got to be really careful about what you buy. So if you're not knowledgeable about cars, or you're not knowledgeable about things in general that you're buying on Craigslist, you are taking a huge risk when you buy those things, especially if you haven't tested them at least in some way first.
I think if you're gonna buy a car on Craigslist, you should probably take it to like a dealership and have it.
Well, people who are
pay for a full.
if you like people who are like good with cars, a lot of them are fine with buying cars on Craigslist because they can go like examine the car, they can go look at the engine and be like, oh yeah, it looks good, and then they can like check the oil. It looks like they've changed the oil. Is there like whatever? But people, just the average car owner doesn't know as much about cars. Like even like me being a relatively like engineering focused. I mean, I'm not an engineer, but I'm a software person. I like to know how things work. I don't know enough about cars to really make an informed decision about whether a car is like in good shape or not. Like my car is in okay shape, cool. Like if I would learn very little from opening the engine of a car.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them are sealed anyways, which is probably a good thing if it's sealed, because then someone can't have fucked with it, and if it's running, it probably works. But like, yeah, no, it's just a lot of stuff. Like you got to check for rust on the frame, like stuff like that, and like my
Things
mom.
that can be
If
covered
my
up.
mom were to buy a car on
say
Craigslist, she would not be doing that. Like.
If you want to learn how a car works, the best way to do so is to get a shitty car that's breaking all the time, and you gotta like pay for like each individual thing that needs to get fixed on it. Like, oh,
That's
the
terrible, though,
brakes
'cause
are
then
out.
you're-
Like, oh, like the.
There's a point, like, whenever... So, basically, my philosophy on my car is it is cheap, but it has had no mechanical issues at all. And as soon as it starts to have any regular issues that just it keeps breaking down for multiple reasons, I will now, at that point, get a new car. But, like, I don't...
As long as it works and it drives well, and does it get you from point A to point B
But
without any issues?
the important part about having a car is you want it to be reliable. You don't want a car that could potentially break down and leave you stranded, and you're not going to be late to work, or just not make it to work that day. You know, because that's not a good vehicle. You want a vehicle that will reliably get you there and doesn't fuck up. You know,
You don't want to be stranded on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, that I have been like in pretty sketch situations with my car. I mean, I paid enough to get it like fixed up to a certain point, but I think my philosophy is if you can avoid buying a car, don't buy one. Make transportation more collective problem, right? Like why like I wish we had good buses. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
like there are better trains in like more like developed areas like like in New York or
I would
Boston.
invest in public transportation every day of the week. My
Yeah,
sister lives
like-
in DC. She doesn't own a car. She takes the bus or the subway everywhere, and it works out for her. But you can't do that in most cities, I'd say.
Yeah, and that's fucked up.
I might start writing a little I might start riding the light rail to work once I actually have to go back to work. Bless Denver.
The light rail station's kind of far from.
It is, but I could probably park my bike at the Dry Creek station, and then
Bike it to work.
bike it to work.
I want to get one of those like electric big wheels that you can carry in like your backpack or something, you know. I already have like a fully mobile, like battery powered like setup with this amplifier and guitar here, and I want to become like that guy who's just like on the big wheel playing the electric guitar on his campus. But it would just be me. It'd be good advertisement. I'll be like, hey, get tutoring at Pablo's tutoring. Here's some rants.
Or get learned culturally on Into the Zeitgeist. You know,
yes.
Just
Yeah. I mean,
Walk around with the sign on your back.
look.
Or
Yeah.
roll around.
we should make T-shirts. Let's become an underground movement.
Yeah. I guess.
Anyone who's currently subscribed, whenever we make these T-shirts, I will give you a free one.
Look, just plugging my business on the side. If you need math tutoring, pay me money. Write a comment.
Dude, we should get some Heelys, Duncan. Heelys, ride your Heelys to work.
I used to have Heelys.
And then you can change out of your Heelys to your business attire.
Heelys are great. I loved like having them like in the airports, but like you quickly just get them confiscated at your middle school if you're just they just don't want you to be cool. They just hate it when you're cool. That's it. I don't know what else. Like they're like they leave little black skid marks on the floor. Like fuck you.
We got a Need for Speed. Oh my gosh, the blacks. So my freshman year of college, Alex, you're in the chat. You'll remember this. We all got scooters, and we like
Razor scooters.
we like rode Razor scooters around our dorms. And then like when we like used the brakes, like a part of like maybe it was like the wax on the floor or whatever, but the wheels would get hot, and either the wheels were melting onto the floor in like a very thin layer, or the floor wax was getting messed up. But like the entire hallway that we lived on, and only our hallway, was all like marked up from the scooters. It was really great.
Do you remember freshman year there was a group of I think 4 guys that had scooters, and they would like ride them. We had carpet, but they would ride them in the hallways and stuff, and we were just like, who are these guys?
Yeah, I was that person at my school, and it was a lot of fun. And then I got in a really bad Razor scooter accident, and like I like skinned up like this entire part of my arm, and I was like,
Oh shit.
it was bad. And I did not pick the scooter up again, and it died after that kind of. But we still had 2 friends that like rode them for like the rest of the semester, pretty much. It was really funny.
I ride my bike now.
One of
Not
our
so much
friends
now with Polly.
One of our friends would just like ride to our dorm room and then crash his scooter into our door as his way of like being like, answer the door, you animals. Like,
I feel like Razor scooters are just not efficient.
They're not
like,
a good
probably,
travel.
You're just better off walking.
You're better off. I mean, they are faster than walking, but you are putting a lot of effort to only go.
They
a little
fuck
faster.
up your shins.
And you have the potential for crashing. It's just because they're not really a good transportation method. The Razor scooter wheels are too small.
Yeah. And also, speaking of, so the bird scooters or lime scooters or whatever.
Those are really dangerous, but I do like them.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think they go too fast, and especially so.
They're not stable.
Like 2 weeks ago, when I took one home, we'd been drinking, and it's dangerous. They go like 14 miles an hour, but you can just.
You should definitely be wearing a helmet if you're riding one of those, I think. But.
Yeah, they have them in the downtown area in Knoxville now. Occasionally, you just see some people like a gaggle of guys just going way. Like
Fun fact: none of those scooter companies are profitable. Like Lyft is not profitable on the scooters. Lyft is not even really profitable on Lyft
in general.
But like,
you just see them on the sidewalk and shit, and you're like, "What? This is gonna block some wheelchair user." Like fuck.
Anybody who leaves them on a sidewalk is.
There was a period in like 2018, 2019 where they were really bad because there would just be piles of them on the. There were way too many. I think is the problem.
Yeah.
They were just
throw them in a lake. Throw them in a bush.
There would be like distinct piles of them on the sidewalk. Like you'd have to like step over like 4 or 5 of them in Atlanta at sometimes.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's terrible. Now there's a lot less, I think, but like, and I think people are a little bit nicer about it, and they like kind of just stand them up in a good spot, or maybe there's just more people collecting them. I don't know.
I still think they are a dickish invention because
Well-
when you have one like parked in the middle of the sidewalk and you go to pick up
Well,
to
no,
move
that's
it,
on
you
the
know-
person who parked it in the middle of the sidewalk, though.
No. But the invention itself, this is what it does when you go to pick up to like move it somewhere sensible. You know, you're being a member of society, right? The scooter beeps as if you're trying to steal it. It's like, no, leave me in the middle of the fucking road, asshole. Why are you doing picking me up? Beep 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 beep. I'm just like, fuck this scooter. It's a dickish invention in itself.
I think that like the scooter as well is like far inferior to the like the bike. Like they have those bikes, like they're jump bikes or just like city bikes. Like
Those are you can't just leave those. You need
so
to
the city bikes you have to take them back, but they have the bikes that are very much like the Lime scooters, but you just like you just pay to use the bike, but you
have to build a
you still
ton of
have
bike racks,
you
though.
still have no you don't have to have bike racks. They just stand up. They have kickstands.
Those are just gonna be left everywhere then.
The problem though, no, but like there's not that many of them. The problem though still arises. People have to pedal, and people are lazy, so we need electric bikes. It needs to be the thing. But why would
Pedal assist.
the bike solves a lot of the problems that the scooter has though, because bikes are inherently more stable than a scooter. If you run
That's
over
true.
a bump on a bike, you're
Yeah,
not
that's
as likely
better
to crash and burn immediately. Whereas if you run over a bump on one of those scooters, people have eaten shit a lot.
Yeah.
Well, in China, like the reason why they have so low like emissions per person is because like they just have a shit ton of electric bikes. If like everyone there had cars like in the United States, emissions would be fucking way higher than
I'd
that.
be super down for the electric bike. The other problem with the scooters and the bikes is you can't always guarantee that you'll have one where you need it.
Yes.
So like
Same
if you,
with the car.
if you ride a
Well, with
scooter,
the car, you probably drove
you
somewhere.
probably drove it somewhere and then you parked it. But like if it's your own electric scooter or own electric bike, like cool, same, like works for me. But if you're trying to like if you want to ride the Lime scooter to work or home from the bars, you can't guarantee that you'll have one at your disposal near you that you can actually use to get to where you want to go.
Yep.
So, which makes it not a very effective form of transportation. Which is why I think the city bikes make more sense, because you should, in theory, you can like log into City Bike and be like, here's how many bikes are available at the location near me.
Same as the scooters, though.
Yeah.
What I would like though is an electric bike where the back wheel, right? Like you can make it use like the electrical battery power to turn the wheel, but you could also turn the wheel to recharge the battery. You just have
Yes.
like this generator built in, and like you just fucking ride the bike to charge it up, like at your house or something.
Going
like, for
back-
exercise.
Going back to my hot girl summer, I'm gonna be riding a lot of those scooters to bars.
Those like I will be honest, those scooters are like, especially if your bars are like,
Especially because we live right near the bars.
if you're like under 2.5 miles away from the bar, those scooters are easily the move for getting back or getting there.
Yeah.
Because
I just rode my bike.
They're
Oh,
far-
actually no. I should just be
Wait,
riding
you
my
own a bike,
bike.
Hardy?
I own a bike.
I
It's
need
not.
to get a bike.
It's not a good bike. I would sell you.
Get-
I'd sell
Get
you
on
my
the
bike so I can
bicycle
get a
with
better
the
bike.
boys.
I know.
Bike on the
those
middle of
bikes.
the freaking road.
the
Like, what are
move-
they gonna do?
The move
We
for
can
bikes.
ride 2x2 in the middle of the
Yeah.
road.
The move for bikes.
Yeah.
The problem with bikes though is you could theoretically get arrested for public intoxication.
Nobody's
Oh,
they're not gonna
yeah.
reach the Republican
They probably won't. Well, they,
As long as you're
for driving,
if you're
for
like,
biking
if you're
drunk,
like being safe and not driving,
biking
it's probably
drunk,
gonna be like
it's still a crime.
it. I mean, so is jaywalking.
But here's the thing: you can ride the scooters on the sidewalk. Biking on the sidewalk is technically illegal. Although there are bike lanes where we live
There
in
are.
Denver,
Yeah, Broadway has bike lanes.
which okay, that,
I would not recommend
Never
being
mind.
drunk and riding a bicycle though. Like if you're gonna.
well, we're not going to be trash. We're going
And
to be.
also the thing is, if you're riding a scooter, I'm riding those in the bike lanes as well. So I'd be riding both of them in the same place. But like Hardy was saying, the bike is more stable. You're probably safer.
Yeah, well, you can also probably get like the bike. I think goes faster than the scooter. You just have to pedal it. But you could get electric bikes that work the same way.
Yeah.
Um,
Bikes are expensive though. I
Bikes
didn't
are very
realize
expensive.
that, even
to
like
get a
like
bike that isn't just absolute garbage,
it's gonna
like
cost
a
like
Walmart-
500 at least.
yeah, you want to probably pay $500. Or you
between
can go on
5 and 7.
Craigslist, but you
I
could
mean,
also
shout
get a
out
limit.
to Knoxville Dream Bikes. They have like really affordable bikes. I got mine for like $200, and basically they're built from like recycled like other bike parts, and they give
Oh.
like experience for like making things to local high school kids.
Well, that's pretty
So-
cool.
The
I'll also-
issue-
I'll
It's a
look
good
at the bike
charity.
shops around here.
Yeah, so
Dream Bikes.
Rajeev, you should look into Craigslist as well, because that's the best place to get good deals on bikes.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that a ton of people bought bikes last summer, and hopefully some of them realized, I don't actually need this.
I have notoriously bad luck with bikes. My current bike that I have, 2 days after I bought it on Craigslist, the pedal fell off. I did a bunch of work to replace the pedal myself. I'm now a bike repairman. Then I bought, like in February last year, I was like, I want to do mountain biking. Like right before the pandemic happened, I was like, I'm gonna get into mountain biking. Bought a mountain bike. 4th trip I went on, and this was an expensive mountain bike. I spent over $1,000 on this mountain bike. The pedal falls off. 2 bikes in a row, pedals have fallen off on me.
If it happens twice in a row, maybe
Maybe bikes are not
something
for
wrong.
me. So, anyways, I got a full refund. Thankfully, I'm not a mountain biker anymore. And I did not get hurt. I only skinned myself up a little bit. My Razor scooter accident freshman year of college, I got hurt way worse. But I was really mad. I do want to get a better bike than my current garbage tier 1970s maybe bike. I could not
Yeah,
even figure
I
out
wanna get
what
a
year
bike.
it was manufactured. There are no records. There's no records of Schwinn's manufacturing at this time.
Huh.
Um,
Interesting.
I want to get an electric pedal assist like retrofitted onto my existing bike. I just really want like a really like ragtag rinky dink like little like what do you call it, like a Rube Goldberg machine type looking thing. Like I think that would very much appeal to me.
Are you guys getting Discord notifications? Because I'm not hearing any Discord notifications in chat.
I mean,
I'm getting just like I'm just reading like the comments here. People getting juiced.
Yeah, John, it's like Alex, are you hearing my Discord notifications? Because I'm not
Yeah.
hearing them.
My hot boy summer is going to be completely Duncan dependent, I think, at this point. Like, if Duncan can get me into the pilot light, I'll go fight a Nazi, become arrested, get deported to Argentina, have my permanent residency card confiscated, take over Argentina, come back to the United States, land a hottie. That'll be Pablo's hot boy summer.
Dude,
that's a great plan.
my hot boy summer is just to keep getting my deadlift maximum going up, and then maybe someday a girl will find me attractive. Yeah, well,
it's a
I'll
difficult thing to bank on, Hardy.
I'll review the tape later, Alex, and see if I can hear any of these, because I cannot. But
I can't hear anything from you at least.
well, are you? Yeah, but you're hearing through Discord, right? So you wouldn't know, right? Because you're not listening to the stream.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, yeah.
I
But
got the long hair. I want to make the long hair work. There's going to be a lot of people who
Also,
don't like the
okay.
long hair.
I like the hair.
I asked Rajeev
Thank you.
this today.
favorite?
I've been thinking about growing my hair out. My hair is currently the longest it's ever been. Should I cut my hair? Because
Do you think it looks good right now, or do you think you look better
here's the
with short
question.
hair?
I think it looks fine, but it's getting to that awkward stage where it does this, and that's no bueno. Okay,
You
I can't
you
see.
could have the single swoop and
I can't see.
pull off the emo look.
But also,
Yeah, do this go.
look, the single swoop. What are you talking about?
You know how it's
Oh,
you
this-
have just one down covering the one eye.
This is how you do it.
Well, so that happens
Oh, that's-
naturally.
oh.
That happens naturally.
My
wait,
anime
actually,
pro
Hardy.
tag.
You have to if you're gonna go emo, you have to have black hair. Sorry, Hardy. The brown's just not gonna work.
I can't be an e-boy. Okay.
I don't think so.
Also,
No, you cover one eye.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm saying.
we
Well, you gotta
we
go
style
just
them up.
one
We
eye.
style them up. Cool. We're styling them up. I don't like using product in my hair because it's like stiff. It makes me feel weird. I can't hear what you guys are saying because I have this headband that I wanted to start wearing, but my hair's not quite long enough. But like, I think that's a good look.
Interesting.
I think that's a good look.
I've never seen it.
You gotta have
before,
two
Hardy.
of them.
It's like a sports headband.
It gives you.
It actually
also
looks a
the
lot better on me
things.
Wait, hold
today
on.
than it did like 3
The
weeks ago.
eyes and
But it's
single
like it's a
tough-
sports
This
headband.
looks so bad.
I like it. I'm a big fan. The problem
I
is,
think, I think the single headband, that's not a bad look.
so
That's
here's
pretty
the
good.
problem. My hair is just a little bit too short, and it has
It
like
is,
this
yeah.
like weird thing at the back.
It
But
doesn't,
if I
it doesn't
had-
bunch up enough at the back.
If I had
for that.
longer hair, it would look way better. But
You would have to wear that headband for like a good amount, I feel.
I would have to wear this headband forever, because otherwise it would look
Well,
terrible.
After a while, you get to like Pablo's level where it starts falling to the sides and around.
Yeah. But like, I will say I do like the headband, so I'm not sure if I want to keep wearing it or not. I think if I keep my hair for like another month, I think I'll be long enough to wear this headband and it won't look weird in the back. So I don't know.
I think you could pull it off then.
Duncan, you're
I
saying to
changed my-
use
I changed my
pomade.
answer.
I will give some pomade a chance.
I have some. You can. I have.
All right, Rajeev, this must be done. I will come and collect some tomorrow and see how I can style my hair.
I don't know.
I mean, I like that my hair right now is at the point where like I can get it like all in a ponytail, like back here.
It's all
and
about-
none of it like slides out.
Would you
It's
do
usually
a
on-
man bun?
It's all about the middle
Here?
part.
I don't know if I do a bun. I just have like the ponytail. That's probably
Right,
it because I don't think it's gonna get that long.
Not.
So here's the other
I-
question.
Anymore, I'd look like a samurai or something and walk around looking like I don't know, like I drink hopsy beer, like grassy beer. I don't know. I'm a wine guy personally. I gotta look like a wine guy. I gotta get a black turtleneck,
Yep.
right? Fit the theme.
You know what? I don't
Get
think
a
I
little
put that
greasier.
together. But that's way more wine. Yeah, the black turtleneck. I never thought of that.
We
before.
should. Okay, Rajeev. Here's the move. We get black turtlenecks. We go out to Denver. We win.
All right.
We win.
I gotta get the
Turtleneck.
plane ticket.
We get
The
everyone.
turtleneck.
We get everyone in our group. We buy them black turtlenecks.
The squad turtleneck.
We say, look, if you're coming out with us tonight, you're getting a black turtleneck. Women included. They're wearing black turtlenecks.
Yeah.
And
All right.
we go into bars and we take them over. And then we become everyone's
with our
friend.
black turtlenecks?
Here's the thing: people want to talk to us now because we are like a special group that is only wearing black turtlenecks. They're like, who are those people? They're doing something fun.
We can't do it in the summer though. It's too hot.
No.
What we gotta do
It's
is
all
we
about-
gotta
no.
wear
We're doing
those
it in the
long
summer.
white sleeved like those shirts that like construction workers wear like to be cool in the sun, right? And we wear sun hats and then we're ready. Like,
We're doing
that
it
is
in the summer
uniform.
and we're gonna sweat our asses off. We're going to the nightclub and we're gonna dance. Black turtleneck only. Like,
All right.
That's true.
I could be in for that.
And get electric wheels. We're all rolling about on the same big electric wheel.
either that or we all get denim
roll
jackets.
up to the club on your.
Okay,
on your
wait.
wheelies.
Denim jacket. Everyone gets a denim jacket.
I feel like that's already taken. That's a niche that's taken. Denim on denim. That's classic. That's classic. A lesbian look.
That's true. And apparently Canadian.
Canadians do denim on denim.
Whoa, who's saying
Okay.
who's saying we're doing denim on denim? We're not wearing jeans. We're wearing business attire. Okay, we're wearing slacks. Okay,
You're throwing that over your
with
over
a
your,
denim jacket.
with a denim jacket. We're bringing it back, baby.
It's been back.
Interesting. What about the leather jacket, Hardy?
Oh wait, there's
I
also
don't-
like a punk thing with denim jackets. You like sew on patches.
I don't
onto
know how
it.
I feel about leather jacket because I feel like leather has a tendency to like make noise and squeak, and I'm not that. I don't want to squeak when I move.
That's true. I think if you
I
get,
wanna
if you get
rustle.
a
I wanna
good
rustle.
quality one.
Look,
If you
we
get a good quality one,
wear
you can have it not.
latex gimp suits.
Dude, Duncan's got me down. Duncan's got my number right now. Cream chinos, denim jacket, casual button-up or tee. That is a look.
Oh man,
We're gonna
I feel like
denim
I
jacket
would-
over our blazer.
I just don't want to look like my dad's a lawyer, or that I would say that my dad's a lawyer. Look, okay, you wear the deep V burgundy red tee, hairy chest.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you don't have a hairy chest, you draw on a hairy chest with a Sharpie, in some black or off black color, like purple.
Like purple.
My purple hair. I dyed my chest hair purple.
Sleeveless.
Do people dye their
Uh,
chest hair?
Wait. You said it's sleeveless deep V?
Yeah, and what? Okay, what else? You're wearing like one of those like rainbow caps with like the little like spinning like a propeller on the top of it, and it has like lights on it so that it's like powered by something, so it spells out like "fuck me," um, in the air with the trail of the
The
LEDs.
one that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So propeller hat, easily recognizable, and then neon yellow short shorts with Crocs.
Wait,
with
the problem with
socks
neon
on.
yellow, depending on the fabric that it's made out of, it might be see-through.
Even better.
So this is. Don't forget, Hardy. This is Hot Boy Summer.
Ooh, you're right.
It's Hot Boy Summer.
Just kidding. Okay.
Crocs
You know
and
what?
socks.
You know what? I'll be right back. You guys continue the conversation.
All right.
Penny loafers. And the shoes I got on are these. I feel like these are very neutral shoes.
Are those what kind of shoes are those?
These are the fucking
Are those Allbirds?
yeah, Allbirds.
All right.
Yeah.
I have the exact same shoes,
Yeah.
but mine are a little bit small. I kind of wish I had gotten one size up, but it's okay.
Yes, but look, I also okay. We're talking about shoes. I'm gonna bring this up while John's gone. I've been coming up with this like model here for my own foot, right? And I have been weaving a fucking.
It's Hot Boy Summer. It's time to make
rope
some jorts.
for an espadrille. I'm going to get this rope and like tie it up like that, like or like curl it up, and then sew it through. And that way you have like the bottom of a shoe that's made completely out of jute.
Wait, what? That's pretty.
I'm currently creating some jorts here.
And then you can just
Are you
crochet
cutting some short? Some.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. One moment. Let me see the original pants before you cut them.
Okay.
pantslessness in the chat.
These are some Levi's.
Are you not going to use those anymore? Those jeans?
I have one other pair of jeans.
Wait, you only have two pairs of jeans?
I've already started the cut. I wear pants.
Too
Too
late.
late. He can save the jeans for patches.
How short are you
for
going?
stuff.
So I've heard that you need to cut off at the pocket, but we're gonna start off a little bit less
Lower?
intense.
Jamie, pull up the penny
No, you
loafers.
can always make it shorter, Hardy. You can't make it longer.
I gotta show off these thunder thighs, my dude.
Hardy's very proud of his.
Penny loafers have been in.
What are penny loafers?
Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen.
All right, so okay, we've cut off one leg. That's a jort right there, baby.
The penny
That's a
loafer.
jort.
Oh no.
That's a jort.
Is it showing up? I think.
Yeah,
like-
but those look like your dad's lawyer. I feel
So
more so than anything else.
Look at these. These do not say that my dad's a lawyer. This says
No, that's better.
I smoke marijuana. I don't know what it
Yeah.
says. It probably that. Natural.
It's not
living.
by the way, that's not showing on stream.
oh, I need to watch the stream. I'm sorry, it's because I'm streaming. Okay, yeah, there we go.
What do you say if somebody pulls up wearing some of
Dude.
these?
Daisy Dukes are the only thing you want in this life. If it's not a Daisy Duke, it's not the jorts you want. So I think I'm gonna have to refine these design after I put them on because I don't know how they're gonna turn out. But I'm gonna rock these to a pool party one day. It's gonna be real. I'm gonna show up.
Alright.
I'm gonna show up with some like.
There we go.
Pair of wild pants in the back that I've never had the confidence to wear. Maybe I'll wear those. Let me see if I can find them.
All right, one moment.
Sure.
I'm gonna put these on
Are you gonna? Yes.
on camera, but I'm gonna be. Yeah, you can't see me. My time's now. I'm taking my other pants off right now.
So Pablo, your question of are you wearing pants?
This is a thirst trap.
The answer for the answer for Hardy is currently no.
Am I
Stop
wearing
screaming.
pants? I'm currently wearing pants right now. Oh my god. These
Oh,
are
you
so
want to know
hard-
the truth? If I'm wearing pants,
These are so hard to take off at the moment.
you want the truth?
Ooh.
I am.
I'm like shimmying.
That was anticlimactic.
These are way easier to take off and put on when I'm like standing up. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah. Who puts pants on when they're sitting down?
Well, the jeans aren't going to be that hard, I don't think.
Say
Dude,
hello to the
There's
stream,
no,
Holly.
there's gonna be no visible anything other than these jorts once I've got them
Hardy,
on.
I think this is some sexual.
This is look. How else are we gonna get subscribers? Okay.
We're all looking
Like-
at you.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is
You
the
know, you can just-
thumbnail.
You
This
can't
is
turn
the
your camera
thumbnail.
off.
I could just turn my camera off, but
But you're committed now.
look, how else am I gonna get that thirst trap energy in our? Oh god, these are really short.
I got a DreamWorks
I
face
told you
set.
to make them
No,
longer, Hardy. You can always make them shorter.
Hey, baby.
John, we didn't have the clip moment where we come up with the icon for the episode.
Oh.
I just like go in and I.
Hey!
It's gonna be this.
Face
Back up, Hardy. Back up. Oh, actually, that's not.
I like
not
them.
bad. They're actually they look really tight.
They are very tight. These jeans. This is why I was fine with cutting it. They are some tight jeans. But look, dude, it's a move.
Wait,
it's a look.
That's
Hot
a
Boy
move.
Summer.
It's a look. Look, I'm bursting out of them. And I
have 2 pairs of blue, a pair of light blue, and a pair of black jeans. Yeah, we should cut one of mine too.
Yeah, I mean, I've got them now.
The light blue jeans I want a new pair of dark jeans. So
Dude, I should go to the gym like this. Like do some
Yeah.
squats.
yeah, you're gonna pick up boys and not girls probably.
Maybe. You don't know.
But I'm a big fan.
Wait. You look like that guy from like TF2, the
So,
freaking like Australian.
Here's the
guy.
question.
You know what I'm talking about?
Now here's the question. I have this denim fabric. What do I do with it?
Just cut it up into little squares so you can use it to patch up holes in like any of your.
I'm gonna
your
keep
clothing.
it. I don't know what I'm gonna use
Learn
it
to
for.
sew. Fix your shit.
It's pretty difficult to sew through denim though by yourself.
Get a machine.
Duncan says clip it and be like programmer Faps on Zoom meeting. I like it. But no, I think that jorts are a very hot boy summer item. Anytime I'm going to like a day party, like a day function, I might wear these jorts.
Yeah, if we're
And I should get some like really colorful compression shorts to put under it. It's a vibe.
Are you gonna have those like visible below the edge of
Look,
the
imagine me wearing these jorts and this headband at the same time. Like, it's gonna be an incredible
dress?
look.
Look at this.
Ugh.
Oh god, who's the Australian guy
Oh,
from
okay, Harry.
TF2? I really gotta pull this up and put it in the chat so that people know who I'm talking about. It's not the fucking sniper. It's
The
the
heavy?
fucking buff dude.
It's the heavy, isn't it?
Ah
heavy's-
shit! Now it's just showing me buff guys. It's not the heavy. It's like the guy, the fucking Texas guy. He's like, I guess like the owner of the red team. I'm think. What?
I'll be honest, I haven't played. I only played a little bit of TF2. I tried it once.
I love
Those kind of games
TF2.
are not-
Pablo and
they're
I
not
used to play
my,
TF2 so long ago.
Shit, that's the engineer.
All right,
Those kind of
Oh,
games are
fuck
not
it.
my cup of tea there.
Someone will find out eventually.
so speaking of fictional characters.
Duncan did not say it.
Speaking of fictional characters, it's 2021. I feel like 2020 and 2021 combined have been the renaissance of anime.
It's true.
And-
It's basically entered the mainstream.
It has entered the mainstream. It has entered the zeitgeist. Anime is now zeitgeist. People who had never watched anime before have started watching Attack on Titan. They've started watching Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is in theaters and is like selling record tickets. I need to go see Demon Slayer. I might go tomorrow. But
Take a look at that.
the anime is fucking in. Like, it's here to stay.
Yep.
What caused this? Is it just because we were inside and people were bored and they wanted more things to watch?
I think that people would have been watching an incredible amount of Netflix and all the streaming services, and people realized that a lot of the animes have really good storylines, even if they're a little bit, the animation, they're animated, and somehow they have what we might call anime moments. But overall, they have a really good, Attack on Titan, Full Metal, all these Death Note. They have really good stories that are just told through a different medium than live action, and people
Getting
realize
my
this.
mom to watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah, no. Our
Wow.
friend Tyler, he started watching Attack on Titan like a week and a half ago, and he already finished everything. He watched 75 episodes, and now he's reading the rest of the manga. And like,
I think
this man has never watched anime ever before, and he just
Let me
binged
see.
the entire series. I'm glad it's happening because I've been watching anime for years, and now my culture's, my weeb life, don't have to hide it as much.
So out of my
We still have to hide
list
it a
of
little
friends
bit.
from back home. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 out of 12 people have now watched Attack on Titan in this chat, I think. And probably 10 of them have watched Hunter x Hunter. It's in.
Yeah, I'm personally very happy. I want to see more movies come out. I want to see what happens after in 2022 when people are no longer stuck at home. Are people still gonna be watching anime?
Right.
Has it broken in for real, or is it just is it temporary?
Was it like Tiger King where everyone's like, oh, we watched?
Or
Tiger
is
King,
it
and
or
we're
is it
gonna
just
watch
because of like Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer? Like, are people only interested in
I don't
those?
think not that many people here. I don't think have watched Demon Slayer, even though it's incredibly popular, at least from what I've seen.
Maybe that's true, but is it just Attack on Titan, or is it just like a couple shows? Because like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we said, Attack on Titan was one of the most popular shows of early 2021.
Yeah, like I mean,
It
the only
was
thing
only
that beat it
beat
was WandaVision, like.
Yep.
Which is wild, and like I don't think that many people are watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because I don't really care, and I probably will watch that show.
I watched it. It was okay.
I probably will
I'm
eventually
gonna
watch
say
that show.
I really hate the freaking yellow guy from like Demon Slayer. Like
the scared one.
Yeah, he's always scared. He's always an idiot, and then it's like he passes out. It's like I'm suddenly a badass now, but you have me along with the second comic relief character, which is like the bored person that wants to fight everybody. And shit, it's like it's too much. It's too much comic relief. I can't take any of these people
serious. The main
serious.
character and his sister are great, and then both of those other characters are not great.
They're terrible. They need to do like a heroic sacrifice, like I make up for myself by dying.
The problem,
get him out of the story.
The boar-headed guy, he's like the thirst trap for everyone because when he takes off his hat, all the ladies are like, oh my god, he's got eyes. And then I think
the other one's just useless.
Well, the other guy is just like I think he's mostly because he's scared all the time. He's like that. He's filling a trope, you know.
He's just always screaming. He's like, there's like a girl, and he's like, please have sex with me. I'm an incel. I don't know, marry me, lady. Whatever.
That is a problem. I feel. So what was in My Hero? Who's that? The small purple character?
Don't get us started.
The purple
Don't
guy.
get us started
He
about My
sucks.
Hero.
I get that shit out of here.
Pablo and I hate him, and that's like the problem with a lot of anime. I think there's too much of that weird stuff in the traditional anime, whereas Attack on Titan is a special show because it doesn't have that. But don't get Pablo and I.
It's just like, listen, we are the military people, and we're tasked with doing this, and we're also going to discover the world, and that's all we care about.
Don't get
That's
Pablo
why I
and
watch
started.
it with my mom. There's none of that like
Nothing
beach scene,
Like a
beach
week
party time.
Like a week ago, Pablo and I were just like Googling all the bad things that we don't like about the My Hero Academia fandom. And it's just like everyone ships everybody, which is just a problem with media.
Fandoms.
I blame
Fandoms
Tumblr.
in general are the worst.
I
It's
blame
like all
Tumblr.
these kids are underage. All of them are underage. Like,
I blame Tumblr. But everyone's just like, oh yes, these two characters that are definitely not gay, they are now. Or
they
like
shipped All Might with Deku.
like,
All Might.
What?
That's like incestuous. Like that is like,
And pedophilic.
yeah.
No, but I think this is the problem. This is not just an anime.
It's
fandom
definitely a
It's just
fan problem.
an online.
It's a fandom
problem.
problem. It happens in video games. It happens in animes. I think it happens the most though in video games and animes.
Yeah, probably.
Probably because they're fictional characters and they're easy to draw them.
Well, I mean, everybody. What was it? Supernatural. Everybody shipped those brothers together. So
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I was insulated from that because I don't really know anything about Supernatural and I wasn't.
Well,
on
the thing
Tumblr at
the
time.
thing is that they've kind of just been like baiting like the audience with those two characters, and at the very end, it's like one of them is like, "Yeah, I'm actually in love with you. Also, I'm going to immediately go to hell because I said that." Ended the show. There you go. You get the person to be gay. You get to say that they were gay. You give them no screen time afterwards.
That happened at the end of the show.
Yeah, shit. Did I spoil it? I don't know.
I watched the first 10 seasons and then
I just saw Twitter go crazy.
I think the statute of limitations is out on Supernatural. It's been out for so long.
Yeah.
Well, no, the last season was last year, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went to like 16 seasons or.
I thought
14
it was a
ridiculous.
show that had like finished airing like 10 years ago. People were just still watching it.
Well,
No, it
'cause
just keeps going and keeps going.
No, because the first 5 seasons were good, and then the next, all of them were not.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
well,
just trying to beat the dead horse, and that's why like they add all these like contrived like last minute like thrown, well not last minute thrown in romances, but just shit that like I don't think like the authors like were wanting like to go through or actually, because if you just have like two characters like admit their love to each other or something like at the end of the scene, and then one of them
Well,
just
that's how
goes to
sitcoms
karma,
end.
mega hell. Yeah, no, but like
Oh,
it's like
Friends, that was dumb.
yeah, no, but like they end up together or something like that or whatever. I don't know what they were trying to do
The
with
whole-
the ending
yeah.
where it's like, oh, one of them just goes into
They're just.
if the romance is in any way like an actual like plot device, that's how like the show ends. Is when it's the will they won't they is over. There's no
Yeah.
mystery there. You know, it's really
Yeah.
hard to keep the interest after the will they won't they period's over. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's usually what they use to like tie up the plot. But like, there's like a lot of shows that are kind of like this, and so that's why people end up like shipping characters like Sherlock and Watson from Sherlock Holmes, and things like that. And like the whole like I guess like the whole culture around that is just people don't produce a whole lot of like gay media. Like there's not. So people are like, oh, fine, I'll just make my own. You take these two male characters, share a close friendship. They're gay now. They're married. That's the content.
That's my headcanon now.
Yeah. And so, like, that's why there's, like, so much of those kinds of fanfics. I saw, like, this Sarah Z video that talked about it. Sarah Z is a very good media commentator on YouTube.
I'm actually... Wait. I want to interrupt here, though. We're going to go back. But I actually don't have a problem with fan fiction, because I feel like that's, like, a separate entity. I don't read fan fiction, but I feel like it's kind of self-contained.
Right. Yeah.
But like my problem with shipping is if you go on like the subreddit for any of these like fandoms, you're gonna see lots of shipping occurring for the same characters for like anyone. It doesn't matter. Every single character possible is gonna at some point be shipped, and it's gonna be on the front page of the subreddit.
That's true.
Okay, let's go back, Pablo. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah. But I was just talking about that content. But yeah, it's a Tumblr phenomenon. I mean, there's also like other shit like Kevin, like Sarah Z also talks about this, which is like the freaking Onceler from what's the fucking the Lorax, right? There was like an animated feature made by Illumination of the Lorax,
Yeah.
which basically
Like,
has,
I have not seen that movie, by the way.
yeah, it has no plot,
it's the
but
Dr.
it
Seuss
has
book,
like
right?
this like indie boy like emo lanky character like at the beginning, like some kind of like Tim Burton-esque whatever. And so quickly they were just like, oh shit, this guy needs to kiss somebody. Quickly the art comes out, and rather than, well, I mean, I'd just say watch the Sarah Z video because it's absolutely ridiculous. They ship him with himself, alternate timeline versions of himself, and alternate like universe versions of himself until the point that they have like Onceler, freaking like Infinity Wars, or I don't know what is the fucking thing. It's like the good Oncelers versus the bad Oncelers, and they're all fucking kissing each other or whatever. It's like people will make it out of nothing if they need to.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Undertale, Rajeev?
No, I had friends that played that.
This problem is very prevalent in the Undertale community. They have infinite versions of alternate everything.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was like 10 years ago.
It is... No. It was not 10 years ago. That came out in like... Maybe it was 10 years ago. Oh my god. When did Undertale come out?
I played Undertale late. Like I purposefully avoided any like fandom stuff because I usually feel like those things get like a little bit obsessed and maybe gatekeepy and toxic or
2015. So it's not...
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But still, that's older than I thought.
I'm thinking of something else then, I think.
But geez, like there's just like infinite fan stuff, and I think that's probably because it's easier to make fan stuff because the art is simpler
It
than
exists.
other. And like yeah, it's simpler, and you can also just kind of use the asset flips. But like, it's just amazing. It's like I'm not a Pablo and I also went down a deep dive on this at one point.
Yeah.
There's so many things that Pablo and I have gotten into weird conversations with that I wish we were streaming, but oh,
Take you on a journey. I think that we also had one about freaking like the espadrilles, and that's why I'm still on them. Like
oh yes.
What is an espadrille?
it is a shoe that's just completely made out of fibers or whatever. It used to be made out of this kind of like esparto type grass around Spain, but now it's usually made out of jute. But yeah, they would be made around France, Spain, or whatever. They're like two ropes that are like woven together by very like smaller like threads, so that when you roll like it up on itself into kind of like a shoe shape, you can pass a needle between the two ropes and like tie it all together, and then you can sew on like a cover on top of it. It's a shoe. It's a shoe where the sole is made out of rope. And I thought that it was great because it's practically the only one that you can that's like biodegradable or something like that.
Yeah.
Like every other shoe, even the freaking Allbirds are like, we're so good for the environment. We recycle the whatevers. Like it's still plastic. It's still in the landfills forever. God knows where they go. And so I think, hey, hemp is produced in Tennessee. If you want like the most ethical shoe, it'd probably be one made out of hemp, like in Tennessee, or it'd be like a deerskin moccasin or something like that. Like if you want it to travel the least distance and not produce carbon, whatever. And if the shoe goes bad, what are you gonna fucking compost it? It's made out of grass. What like?
Yeah.
Have you made you've been making one, right, Pablo? Do you have the work in progress?
Yeah. I have like the little woven one, and I showed it while you were out for a little bit. But here's like the shit.
Bonded pair.
I'm kind of fucking it up.
We've shown espadrilles on the podcast before. But
I have the materials, right? But
okay.
I don't want it to get any more tangled up with itself. But I can make it pretty fast now. Like I have like the weaving process on like these little spools or whatever. It's pretty meditative, but I gotta study for an exam on Monday, and so I've not been working on it so much. I do have this though, so I can fit it to my shoe size. It shows up like this is like the little blueprint.
Is that what you're going to like? Is that going to be part of the shoe, or is that going to be?
No, it's how I designed the shoe. You have like these two little pegs, and so you wrap it around like 2 times on this one so that this side is fatter, and you wrap it around once on this side, and then you keep wrapping it around, and eventually it's going to form this kind of shape that's like narrow in the middle, has like a bulge here, right? To make the shoe.
I'm all down for that. The only problem is puddles.
Is what? Yeah, puddles. No, yeah. These are not for wet situations. These are obviously going to be a dry weather, and probably mostly indoor shoe. That's usually what they were used for. I mean, in Argentina, they're called alpargatos, and people use them for like indoor summer use. That's their purpose. But I think it's just interesting that they don't have any machines that make them here. And they don't have anything that's like made out of local fibers. And if you're trying to look for a completely hemp-made espadrille, the only person who makes it, I think, is like Prada. No, wait, no.
Let's start an espadrille company and let's make a Shopify.
I think you could. So like people love their stuff that's like very environmentally friendly these days.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're right. Even like Allbirds or any of these like more environmentally friendly shoes, you can't.
Let's make a Shopify.
Can't recycle them.
Let's make a process. Let's go.
It's probably not terribly difficult. If you can like feed, you can probably get like a.
We can probably get a weaving machine, and then we can.
Well,
feed it
the weaving process is kind of different than from like the typical braiding machines that you usually find. And even like in France and Spain, like doesn't seem to be like there's like people who make these machines around much anymore. And so if we're going to make a machine, we got to make it from scratch, like have like a 3D printer or something like that. I have an idea for a design, but
let's do it, Pablo. Let's make it business. What are we going to call it?
Fucking not a terrible shoe. I don't know, like shoes.
Names them later, Hardy. Names
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to be the marketing guy because I'm R&D.
Greenies. Let's go.
Green shoes.
You got your pair of greenies?
Yeah, we got some fucking hemp.
Dude, I'm wearing my greenies today. I'm saving the world with each step.
Well,
Save the world. Save the world step by step.
Ooh,
Ooh,
a
that's a
shoe you
tagline.
won't-
That's a tagline.
How do you get the tagline down? We can come up with the name, but that's the tagline.
Ooh,
for sure.
save the world.
I mean, they
step
can
by
work
step.
it for as like carbon storage. Like, what's better than like freaking like growing grassland? I mean, obviously, like the farming would have to be done sustainably, but then it would just be like, this was not a shoe that's going to destroy the planet. It doesn't produce plastic.
Here's the real goal: we get bought out by Nike. Nike buys our machine. They start making machines.
They mass produce this. We help save the world.
We help save the world step by step, and then we also get rich doing it. Come on.
Because Nike can probably mass produce these way faster than we can.
Oh yeah, no, we can't do. We don't have the funding.
You gotta make.
If you want us to create some espadrilles,
what
Tyler's
they
already
can't
done
do
it.
is make it seem authentic, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's true. If you're gonna get bought out by Nike, you have to make in your contract that they don't contract that to like the.
Oh no,
sweatshops
they
in
need
Africa.
to yeah, and they also need to be making it like out of the material. Like we don't want to be making these and then put a like a rubber sole on the bottom because it defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean,
what
you
do
can
you,
have natural rubber, but I think the main thing is just to minimize how much it travels from place to place. Because you can make it out of jute. You can buy espadrille shoes that are made out of jute, but all the jute is grown in Bangladesh. It goes on the freaking like giant boat, like the Ever Given or whatever, goes through the Suez Canal, burning like crude oil, and then goes to like some factory somewhere else where they can exploit the cheap labor to be able to like mass produce the shoes, or you get them like in your big box store. Or whatever,
I am now interested. I want to figure out how we could potentially make espadrilles at a speed that's faster than Pablo making them.
Oh yeah, me making them is very slow. This is like an hour. An hour I made like two feet worth.
Yeah, we need a better way to make rope.
What if we tap the untapped market?
What if we just use twine? Twine already exists. Could you even?
No, but twine's made out of
grandmas.
jute. Twine is jute.
Oh, so you could just
Usually.
use twine.
Yeah, but jute, I don't want it to come from Bangladesh. I mean, like, I have twine here. I'm making it out of twine now. But the overall goal is, why not make it out of stuff that you can grow?
Do we grow jute here in America?
No, we grow in Tennessee. All that I know is the only fiber that we grow around here is hemp. The only other like when it comes to like what's domestically grown.
All right, the
I don't
summer, hot boy summer, it's coming. Okay, espadrilles made of hemp, jorts, headband. We got it. We're mustache coming in thick.
Artie's gonna slay.
Dude, I'm about to have a look in these nightclubs. Let's be honest.
You're about to get your toes stepped on if you're wearing a digital to a nightclub.
And then I can just throw them away and make a new pair because it's good for the environment. It's just a landfill,
It's grass. I mean, I've learned how to like make like a cordage out of like vines.
That's
from,
probably a
like,
good
my
skill to
backyard.
know, just in general, because you can just make ropes are useful.
Yeah, I mean, you can use them to like.
Maybe
bind
I'll make my
objects.
first pair out of some like paracord, which is nylon, is still plastic, not good.
The conversation usually ends up going here. It's like Pablo's survivalism adventures. I mean, but it's just the same thing. Just making things out of rope. I know how to make shoes theoretically out of strands if I have enough time. Probably not what the Native Americans were doing in this country. They were very much making things out of like deer skin. Like that's very useful. Like in
also
better
probably
material.
easier.
Yeah, but oh well, that's life.
Yeah, if you want to see us make some more espadrille content, please comment below. If you also hate it, please comment below. If you liked this podcast, please give us a like on YouTube or Twitch if you're watching it there. But I think everyone's watching it on YouTube. I'm streaming on both just because I'm a weirdo. Rajeev, it's been great having you.
Yeah, this has been a good time.
Yeah, you're always welcome back. If you ever have any pressing matters you specifically want to talk about, just hit me up. We can maybe plan something.
I didn't get a chance to argue things with Pablo, so I'll do that one day.
Yeah, we'll have to have a
We
debate.
mostly agree.
I know that's the thing.
Yeah, it's
But there's just problems in the world. A lot of problems.
there will be times. World hunger. Rajeev was talking about us trying to solve it earlier.
It's just a logistics problem. It's not a money problem.
Exactly. I agree. Here's the thing. We have nothing to argue. We have nothing to argue.
I'm sure there's something at some point.
There are things.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully it was good. Please, if you like this podcast, like it, share it. If you want to donate, you can. I don't know if you should really be donating. I don't think our production values are that good. But thank you, Tyler, again for donating.
Donate, please donate.
But yes, I think today is the first day we've had we had at 1.5 people watching, and I felt really good about that. Normally we have 0 people watching these live, so or maybe 1 to 2 people watching these live. So really is very inspiring. I'm glad Rajeev's episode had some viewership.
It's a celebrity pool.
Shout out Alex and Duncan. It's a celebrity pool.
Yeah, Alex and Duncan. Yeah, we're expanding into the Zeitgeist universe, and slowly, as we have more guests on, these guests will continue to watch our show every once in a while. And then,
absolutely.
And then eventually, we'll just have 20 people watching our show, and they're all ex-guests. None of them are not ex-guests. But no, yeah, I think it's good. I think maybe if we actually have like some turnout, we can start doing like a regular show time. But sometimes it's a little hard because life gets busy. Pablo's studying for exams. I was doing a bunch of overtime at work. It's hard to get a good time going together. Yeah. Also, you might have noticed that we tried to do a little bit more zeitgeisty things on this episode. That's because Pam from last week gave us some advice because she's an avid podcast listener, and I think Pablo and I are trying to change up our format a little bit. So let us know in the comments or emailing how you feel about that. Also, I've been toying around with the idea of potentially inviting people to our Discord server, the server that we record on. If anybody wants to like communicate with us, I might include a Discord link in the episode description. Let me know by joining that if you're interested. If you're not, it'll just exist. Anyways, Rajeev, thank you for coming. This has been an excellent conversation, as always. This is why I hang out with Rajeev all the time. Anything else? Would you like people to follow you on Instagram, Rajeev, or any kind of social media? Rajeev wants to be. Rajeev is a ghost.
Not since 2019.
Rajeev is a ghost.
You'll never know who I am.
And then anything you want to say, Pablo, before we close up?
If you need math tutoring, hit me up. Gotta get.
Do you have a tutoring link?
No. Just fucking post like in the Discord or something. I don't know. Very unofficial process. Getting it back open and started up again now that I'm gonna get my second vaccine on like the 6th. So, this is probably not my target audience either because I'm usually just like tutoring like people's like kids or something like that. But yeah.
Anyways, everyone have a great